My name is Victoria Mahoney, and I'm a big bad dreamer. I'm the second unit director of Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalker.
That's pretty incredible. Like you said, you're a big bad dreamer. Did you ever dream of this?
I absolutely did from the beginning. You know, I was deeply impacted by the very first time I saw the very first Star Wars. It changed my creative DNA. It changed where I walked the earth, and it was just everything. It was everything.
And then last night, your name is on that big screen at the Dolby Theater. Unbelievable. How do you describe that moment?
I had as much excitement seeing the crew members as I did my own name. I was just like geeking out on all the people who are dear to me and who work so hard. It's bigger than one individual.
Take me back, though, to November 2017 when you get this call from J.J. Abrams. What did that conversation entail?
He got straight to it, and I sort of had a moment of not hearing everything in total, because once he said the word Star Wars, you know, I thought he was calling me to ask me about, you know, filming some school play. Yeah. I really meant that. So it was pretty special, and it was very balanced, and it was egoless, and it was, you know, his curiosity was as big and as full as mine. We talked for hours, and he never looked at his phone. No one ever knocked on the door. We just sat, and we got down in a very real way about film and the impact on film on us as individuals, and mandates that we made for ourselves at a very early age, and what kind of ways that we wanted and needed, more importantly, ached, longed, and needed to contribute to film. And then I was on a plane.
Just like that.
Well, no, it was 5 months. It was actually from the moment that I met JJ to the moment that I went. We couldn't tell anyone. I'd done like 2 or 3 other jobs in between there.
54 Baker, take 2, A marker.
Those first days on set, what was that like for you, especially being a fan? Was there a particular set piece you walked onto, or something that you saw that really just like shook you into, I'm here?
There are tons of moments. I guess, you know, what's one of the things that was really, really special was the very first time that I ever called action on a Star Wars film was in a test with Daisy Ridley, early days. And then the very first time I ever called the word action in a scene when we were in principal photography was with Daisy. And then last night, Daisy reminded me that my last shot was with her also.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I do want to go back to the communication, the way that you guys worked between you and JJ in particular, the way that first unit, second unit all kind of comes together.
I would start the day with, you know, I go in, I check into JJ, we have different sets, and, you know, it was great because sometimes we were shooting on different sound stages and we could run right through a door to each other. I almost always went right behind JJ, so JJ would film in a sound stage, whatever he was doing, he'd shoot it out, and then the second unit comes in and we shoot whatever we need, whatever he needs from there. So I would go in the morning and I would touch base with him, and I would find out in a very clear, precise way exactly what he needed and exactly what he didn't need, and without wasting time, wasting footage, without wasting money and energy. And then we go out. I have a monitor of everything JJ's shooting. He has a monitor of everything I'm shooting. We're able to see, and we would just write back and forth within seconds, pop, 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 whatever. And then at the end of every night, I would go back and I would touch in with him. We had a perfectly challenging stretch in the desert, and like the desert beat our. Then I go in and check with JJ, and we would always different, you know, I'm like, okay, and but what'd you learn? And he asked, you know, he asked me, what'd you learn? And I said, I could be standing in Brooklyn shooting a film for $2.50, or I could be standing in Jordan with this high franchise with, you know, megawatt budget and tools and toys and scope and this massive crew and everything, and still be reduced by Mother Nature begging for just a bit of light. Yes. That we were all, it was a leveler.
It was through your relationship with Ava that the name got on the list for JJ. Recount for me the story that you heard.
I found out later when I sat with him, because Ava didn't tell me, was that he was receiving lists as one does, and the lists were very similar. And he kept asking for different lists, and he kept getting the same similar lists from all different levels and ranks in the industry, from studio to producers. And so he called Ava to get her list because he imagined she would have a great list. And she said, I have a great list, JJ, but I'm going to leave you one name only, Victoria Mahoney. And I was Ava's guest at that Star Wars a few years prior, and she was my guest last night.
I bring Ava up because I actually have a fan question from a certain someone that she submitted. for you? This is a question from Ava.
This is great.
She says, you have been underestimated at every turn. Constant questions of skill and worth that nag so many women filmmakers and Black filmmakers. Your answer seems to be excellence and overachievement. How do you keep yourself centered and focused in the midst of doubt within our industry?
So good. I keep myself centered and grounded by giving back in the other direction. It's the number one thing. It's really the only thing, and it's the only answer, is that if I just look to my left and my right and I regard whoever's beside me and who may need a meal or a ride somewhere, or just someone to say, how you doing today, or how'd that job go? Did everyone treat you well, and what challenges did you have? And did the crew see you for your merit, or were you met with subconscious bias every day because of your skin tone or your gender, whatever it is? And then I have a lineage of mentees that mean the world to me. And whenever I have a second of pause, I regard them, and they think that I'm giving something to them, but really I am filled up by them. Their curiosity and hope is just so untethered. It's just not, they're not held down. The sky's the limit, and what a joy to be around anyone who thinks the sky is the limit.
As the first woman to direct a Star Wars film, what do you hope is your ultimate legacy of being involved in this project?
Well, so it's a living legacy, and I hope that I'm alive long enough to see this as the new norm in any capacity, but I will go past Star Wars, and because, this is an industry-wide challenge. This is not one film, one franchise. So I am hoping that we get to continue seeing an effortless choice to employ women directors who come straight out of Sundance with a $20,000 film like our peers, or come from YouTube and have no proof that they can handle a budget north of 140 million, but it's like, here's some trust, here's some money, let's see what you want to do. What would be fascinating and exciting, obviously, is just to see that we are resourced and welcomed, and whatever this thing is inside of us, it aches to tell a particular story as that shifts and moves year to year. Each time we get one story out, then it's a new one. If we're lucky, another one comes begging and knocking and aching and pounding, and we need to go find the team and the individuals who will support that vision.